Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the United Star, the Euro 2020, 2021, whatever you want to call it. The final has just ended. It was 1-1 in normal time, and Italy have won on penalties, and it was a riveting contest. England got the early goal, of course, with a very, very good goal that Luke Shaw scored, a great ball from Kieran Trippier, and he came in and he casually just volleyed it, half volleyed it in, hit it into the ground. Harry Kane couldn't have finished that any better than Luke Shaw did. He had an absolutely brilliant game. So did Harry Maguire. It was a fantastic performance from those two. But apart from that, again, Gareth Southgate, I think, is to blame here. Criminal in the way he Donnarumma did not have to make a single save apart from that one penalty save the one goal that Luke Shaw scored. Donnarumma didn't have to make a single save. And I think that's on Southgate. He did not make changes. Grealish, Sancho, Rashford, all of them just on the bench, wasted. Atanu, what do you think?
I mean, not bringing on your best player, which is Jack Grealish, in my opinion, early into the game is criminal. As you said that, why did he bring Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford towards the last 15 seconds? They haven't played much in this tournament, and you're bringing them on, and then you're telling them to to take a penalty. I think I don't know what to make of it. England also, the
And also,
players also have
Atanu,
to be
not
blamed. The
just
players
that,
also have to be
not
blamed.
just that. No, but Atanu, not just that. Making Bukayo Saka, who's basically a kid, take the fifth penalty. I mean, I understand Rashford missed, but if I was England manager, I'd let Marcus Rashford take the fifth penalty. He's experienced, he's done it in the past. I know he missed. Anyone can miss a penalty. And that's something I want to highlight before we get anywhere further in this video. Saka, Sancho, Rashford, it could have been anyone who could have missed that penalty today. There's no room for any racial abuse or any abuse towards them or any of the England players. They had a fantastic tournament, and to be fair, Italy were just the better team throughout the tournament and maybe deservedly won. But absolutely, as a channel and as individuals, there's no room to racially abuse any of these players for not scoring a penalty. It is, I mean, when you stand there with a the ball, you'd probably realize how hard it is. And if anyone is thinking of doing this, and it is going to happen, and we live in that kind of an unfortunate world,
And
it's absolutely wrong, it's deplorable,
indirectly,
and you need to
yes,
have a good look at your life.
indirectly, I mean, of course, racial abuse is bad, but the blame will also be put on Manchester United because two of our players didn't score that. And people will make fun of it, and I don't care if they make fun of it, but as long as they don't racially abuse anybody, I'm fine with it. Make fun of us, make fun of me, okay, make fun of me for saying it's coming home, but don't make fun of someone just on the basis of their color, their caste, or their creed. And I know this is going to happen, like you said, it is going to happen, and this is a sad world that we live in, but people have to realize that at such a big stage, when such young players are given the opportunity, sometimes they might not be able to convert it. And what we can do as fans, what Gareth Southgate can do as a manager, is just to back them. There's a World Cup coming in the next summer. Back the players, and maybe we'll win. Maybe England will win at that time.
Yeah, and also, Tanu, like I said before, do you think almost in terms of a footballing sense, as a neutral, maybe if we look at this, did Italy almost deserve to win this final? The football they've played throughout the tournament, the quality that they've shown, I think it has been fantastic. And even today, I think England got the early goal, but Italy made all the play, especially in the second half. Chiesa, especially, was all
Chiesa
over the English.
was Chiesa was fantastic. I'm in awe of that player. Insigne, Chiesa, these are the two players that have had a resurgence. I mean, they are good players, but people usually don't rate these players. But after this tournament, I think people won't take the Azzurri lightly.
Yeah, and what about the partnership of Giorgio Chiellini and
Oh my
Leonardo
God.
Bonucci? Because I was on call with a few friends, and about 15 minutes were to go, and there was a freeze frame of Bonucci and Chiellini after like they'd cleared a corner. I was like, is there any chance for England to score in these 15 minutes with these two at the back? They just looked like they knew exactly what to do every time the ball was put in the box, or they were on one on. They just had it on lockdown. They just knew exactly what they had to do.
I mean, look at the compatibility rate that they have. They have played together for, I think, Juventus. They've played their whole career together. just barring that one season when Bonucci went to AC Milan and became their captain. I don't know why. And I think for Italy also, the likes of Barzalaki, Chiellini, and Bonucci have played together for quite some time. And Prasham, just on this note, I wanted to ask you: did you think that the that pull by Chiellini of Saka's T-shirt deserved more than a yellow card? And what about that Jorginho stomping on Grealish's foot?
So I think the spoil on Chiellini by Saka, was fine. I mean, I don't know if it deserved a red card, but Jorginho, I think, definitely looked like a red card to me. I think that was, I don't know, maybe VAR checked it. I don't know how the process worked, but that definitely looked like a red card. But I think what was more shocking is Jorginho did
Jorginho
put away
missing
the
that penalty, yeah.
miss. Pickford, actually, both goalkeepers, I think Pickford and
And I
Donnarumma.
think England fans need to apologize. Like we have, like Prasham, you and I also have, have been a big critic of some players, but as a whole, the fan base, the England fan base, no matter whether they are English or whether we both are there, England fans need to apologize to three, four players, and they are Raheem Sterling, Jordan Pickford, Harry Maguire, and to some extent Gareth Southgate, but he effed it up in this final.
No, but Gareth Southgate, you see, that's the thing, right? You look at the draw, and apart from Germany, that was one game where I definitely tipped my hat to him, and he had a fantastic game. And we said that on the channel. He did
Yeah,
very
yeah.
well. But apart from that, you expect England, with the players they have, you expected England to win all those games anyway. So when it mattered, I think Southgate has just basically jailed his best creative talent. And even the creative talent was on the pitch. They weren't allowed really to express themselves. So I definitely think that Gareth Southgate is partly to blame for this. And this is a little bit like that, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer syndrome, where people say that, oh, he's reached the final. Yes, but I mean, like, we were expected to reach the Europa final. The draw that England had after beating Germany, they were expected to reach this final. It is about what you do in this final. And well, let's face it, I think he bottled it. But before we wrap up, Atanu, player of the tournament for you?
Okay, I might seem biased here, but Luke Shaw has been the player of the tournament for me. Picking someone from the Italian side is difficult because there have been many key players for them. But from the England side, I think Raheem Sterling, Jordan Pickford, Harry Maguire, and Luke Shaw have had a great tournament. But the impact that Luke Shaw has had on this England squad is fantastic. And just before we wrap up, I just want to, there's this chant regarding Luke Shaw that has been going on around on social media. So I'll just, recite two parts of it. Jose said that Shaw was shite, but he's fucking dynamite. And he has proved that the level of criticism that he gets, and that's fine. It's all in the past, but Luke Shaw has had a fantastic resurgence and he resonates inspiration.
As Tanu, as we're just wrapping this up, it seems that uh, Gianluigi Donnarumma has been awarded player of the tournament. Uh, Rightly so. Two penalty
Yeah.
shootouts to get him. Not conceded a goal. Today was the first time he conceded a goal from open play, I think. So
I
yeah,
don't know about
rightly
that, but yeah, it's fantastic. And to top it off, he's on the verge of joining PSG.
yeah. So fantastic. I mean, I think we will do a deep dive into the Euros and its.
Prasham, who has been your player of the tournament?
For me, I was thinking Luke Shaw, Chiesa, but now that they've given it to Donnarumma, I think it makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
definitely.
he's deserved it too. I don't. I mean, as a goalkeeper, I'm quite happy that he's won it, and
Yeah,
I think if I'm not wrong, he might be the first one since Kasper Schmeichel to win it in '92. But
Peter
sorry,
Schmeichel.
Peter
Peter
Schmeichel.
Schmeichel,
Peter
yeah.
Schmeichel.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Casper. So Peter, yeah. So yeah, fantastic performance. A great Euros, to be very honest. And like I said, watch out for our video when we do a deep dive into that. Thanks for watching, Atano. It's not coming home. It is going to Rome, and we will try to bring you some exclusive footage from Italy, the scenes there. So do check that out as well and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching.